Nagbabalik ang protesta special coverage at sa punto ito, mula po natin kasama live dito sa studio si Palace Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro. Magandang hapon, Yusek Claire, and thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Gretchen, Nikki, and
Parang kulang po, ano? Yung lamesa natin.
Parang walang si Cheryl Cosim.
Kaya talaga, mga naughty kayo talaga. Oh. But I suppose that the palace is closely monitoring everything that's happening right now. Dun sa, both in Liwasan and sa People Power Monument. Any assessment so far from the side of the palace?
Sa ngayon, nakikita naman natin, tahimik naman. At sabi nga natin, lahat naman ng ganitong klaseng sitwasyon, talaga naman nakamonitor ang Pangulo. Malaki ang rally, hindi malaki ang rally. Basta ang Pangulo kasi nakikinig, kaya kailangan siya mag-monitor din kung ano nangyayari.
Okay. Ano pong reaction po ninyo dito nga sa panawagan ng mga grupo, specifically with the trillion peso march, no? It's an anti-corruption, anti-political dynasty rally. Sabi po nila, no, dapat bigyan na ng pangil ang batas, ipasa na ng mabilisan itong anti-political dynasty bill, itong ICI bill, at pati na rin yung budget reform.
Okay, unang-una sa ICI, merong ibang mga opinion kasi dito na baka magkaroon ng redundancy kasi marami na tayong investigative bodies, including na yung ombudsman. So, kung ang magiging batas lang ay ICI, in more particularly about the flood control projects?
Or maybe giving it more power to, for example, cite in contempt, which is what it's lacking right now. Pag ayaw sumipot ng witness, wala silang gagawa kundi kumaway.
Kasi ganito yan Okay. May mga investigative bodies naman na hindi kinakailangan ng contempt powers like PNP, NBI, pero nakakapag-investigate sila. Kung hindi pupunta yung mga tao na concern, o yung pinatawag, let's say magiging respondent sila, at hindi sila nagbigay ng kanilang mga pahayag, so magiging against yun sa kanila. Dahil ang makukuha lang ng mga ebidensya na mga nag-iimbestiga, yung nakalap lang nila.
They're waiving their right.
They're waiving the rights na, to be heard. Part yun ng due process So, kasalanan nila yun kung hindi sila pupunta. So, sabi nga ng Pangulo dito, yung ICI kasi is more on mag-investigate, collect data, gather facts.
Fact-finding.
Fact-finding, independent. Pero hindi naman to penalize yung mga taong hindi pupunta. So, sabi nga natin, karga, nasa kanila na yun kumbaga, nasa karga sa kanila yun, burden na ng mga tao yun, na naaakusahan kung sila mismo hindi pupunta at hindi magbibigay ng ebidensya to refute the allegations made against them.
Well, nagla-livestream nga po yung ICI ngayon. Pero ang sabi ng iba, may backdoor option naman na mag-executive session. So hindi rin napapakinggan ng publiko yung mga hearings na yun. I mean, what do you have to say to that?
Actually, kung una-una, nasa polisiya na ng ICI yan. Hindi na natin sakop yan. Pero kasi kung ganun yung polisiya nila at may reason naman for executive session, sa Senate nga meron sa House meron Kung alam nila na medyo delikado yung sasabihin at baka may mga taong involved na mas gusto nila na hindi mo na malaman, para itong mga taong maaaring involved ay nandyan lang. Kung makakasuhan, nandyan lang din. So, may mga reasons kung bakit nagkakaroon ng executive session.
Pero meron bang boundaries yun na pwedeng i-reject ng ICI? Kasi parang it seems that they've been granting it loosely. For example, si Presidential son Sandro Marcos has expressed willingness to go to the ICI kahit wala pang subpoena, wala pang invitation. I mean, how do you determine sino yung nagme-merit ng executive session?
Depende yan, di ba? Sometimes if they will ask or request for executive session, dapat there should be reasons. Kung ang reasons naman nila ay katanggap-tanggap sa ICI, most probably magagrant yun.
Hindi ba pwedeng isa publiko din yun, yung mga reason na yun?
Yun, malamang isa sa publiko yun. Kung bakit nila ginarant yung executive sessions, hindi pwedeng wala lang, out of the blue, biglang tinanggap. I think obligasyon ng ICI, ipaalam sa taong bayan, bakit nila ginarant yung request for executive
And they should
session.
justify it.
Yes.
Kasi it's a public interest. Pero at the same time, do we take it to mean that the palace or Malacanang is not interested in, for example, endorsing or pushing for more powers for the ICI? That we were talking about a while ago. Yung powers like the power to cite in contempt those who refuse. I know what you mean. There are agencies that do not have that power as well, like the PNP and the NBI, and they still do their jobs. On the other hand, people are also saying that at this particular moment where everything is urgent and everything is within the, in the a public concern, does the palace think that it is not necessary for the ICI to have these kinds of special powers beyond what it already has right now?
No, that's why there should be a law. There should be a law. The executive cannot just grant the power of contempt. It should be by the law.
Yes, ma'am. No,
So,
what I mean is whether or not the palace is would favor, for example, endorsing or supporting a congressional bill that would grant more powers to the ICI.
maganda naman yun. But we have to check nga kung there will be redundancy. Baka maging unconstitutional siya because there's already ombudsman. Na
Marami kasi
nag-investigate.
nag-iimbestiga sa Vice
Yes, oo. There is also this opinion of Attorney Hilbay. Sabi
Florin,
ko, okay yan eh. Maganda yung kanya naging opinion because
si former Soldier.
si former soldier na baka mangyaring unconstitutional ang pagsasagawa muli ng another investigative body na magkakaroon ng, pare-pareho ng functions eh. The
Overlap?
ombudsman, mag-overlap siya eh. Kasi already ombudsman. And then there's also DOJ na siyang mag-file ng kaso or mag-recommend for the filing of the case sa Sandigan Bayan or sa court. So baka magkaroon to ng redundancy. So yun lang naman yung issue doon.
But with this current ICI, is it coterminous with the president? I mean, some have been calling for a more independent body, at least not appointed by the president. Kasi nga, pati yung pamilya ni presidente ay nadadawit na dito sa flood control. What would you have to say to that?
If they will make a law, it will be passed and there's
Then
no
maybe.
constitutional issue on that. So, okay lang, wala naman magiging problema sa Pangulo yan.
O yun po yung
problema yun.
sa ICI po natin.
Mm-mm.
Oo. Pero ano pong update doon po sa mga kaso? Siguro ang dami na rin po nagtatanong, bakit po nauna itong Nauhan Oriental Mindoro? Yung sa Bulacan, marami na po tayo narinig ng
Kahit
mga
yung sa
testimony.
Davao po.
Bakit wala pa pong charges
Depende
na
to.
ihahain doon?
Oo. Actually, ang dami na pong cases. Bibigyan ko lang po kayo ng update, no? Base dito, may 10 cases na under PI na po. Preliminary investigation ng ombudsman. Meron na rin pong 5 cases under preliminary investigation by the DOJ. Ganito kasi yan, Gretchen, no? May mga pagkakataon na kompleto na agad yung nauna, yung dokumento. Pumasok sa pag-iimbestiga. May mga occasions naman na hindi pa kompleto, let's say, substandard. Substandard yung unang inspection nila, substandard yung materials na ginamit. So, iba kasi yung ghost projects na asing wala. Iba yung may naitayo.
Pero substandard.
Substandard.
Kulang.
Yung dito po sa Nauhan Oriental Mindoro, may naitayo
May,
na substandard.
okay.
Or in ghost projects eh. I remember Nauhan was controversial because of ghost projects. Sabi nga ni di ba ni Ping they check the GPS, wala yung proyekto doon.
Pero yung specific cases related to the 289 million
Yung sa Sunwest.
flood control oo.
So, most probably, unang lumabas. Depende kasi sa ebidensya na nakalap eh. So, may mga pagkakataon, ito alam namin. Okay, halimbawa, may sinabi. Halimbawa lang to Halimbawa, may sinabi si Engineer Henry Alcantara. Halimbawa. Pero hindi pa siya ganun kakumpleto. Pero meron siyang ibang mga dokumento. So, kailangan pa kasi ang kinakailangan dito, certainty of conviction. So, kapag kumpleto na yan, at nakita naman din ng ombudsman, at nakita rin ng ICI, ito po, kumpleto na, for recommendation na kami for filing, so aaralin niya ng ombudsman or DOJ, as the case may be. So, pag nakita nila, diretso agad sasampayan sa korte o sa Sandigan Bayan.
Gaano kalakas ho kaya yung kaso against Congressman Zaldico, knowing that he already divested from SunWest and the burden of proof that he still benefited from that relationship?
According to AMLAC, ang report na, initial lang report nila, lumalabas yung money trail ay pumupunta talaga kay Zaldico. So, I cannot speculate on my part kasi hindi ako parte nung pagpa-file ng case. So, depende na po yan kung ano yung mga ebidensya na nakalap at kung na-file naman yung ibang case na ng Sandigan Bayan, sa Sandigan Bayan, I think may certainty of conviction na yan.
Tsaka, ano po bang update dun nga sa case ni Zaldico? Kasi, di ba si Secretary John Vic Remulla, sinasabi niya, mahirap nga kasing habulin si Zaldico because of his passports. Dalawa, golden European pa. So, anong ginagawa natin about that?
pinag-aaralan pa rin siya. Kasi kailangan talaga makabalik dito si Zaldico.
Mm-mm.
At
So,
gagawin lahat ng paraan, legal,
Mm-mm.
para maibalik dito
di
si
po ba
Zaldico.
pwedeng ma-expedite yung pag-cancel ng passport?
Nasa korte na to.
Mm.
So, tingin ko, maski na yung court, dahil marami nag-aabang dito, depende na yan sa mga ebidensyang ibibigay. Ang court naman kasi, hindi lang porkit sinabi ng taong bayan, dapat bilisan mo. Depende pa rin po kung paano to ipoproseso ng korte.
Oh, may update po tayo sa kanyang whereabouts? I mean, would you have any idea?
Wala sa aking na ibibigay na anumang information.
Medyo nagiging jet setter po kasi si...
Ganun ba?
Ma'am, in particular interest sa amin yung lumabas na story ngayon sa PCIJ where Sandro Marcos, the president's son, was identified as being one of the beneficiaries ng tatawag nilang allocables. Ibig sabihin, parang politically charged allocations in the National Expenditure Program from 2023 until 2025 that eventually became part of the budget. Wala pa namang insinuation na nagbulsa ng pera, pero yung it's parang the new kind of pork barrel daw kung saan beneficiary yung distrito niya. Among them, for example, I think from 2023 until 2025, mga 15 billion pesos worth of projects ang napunta sa kanyang distrito sa Ilocos Norte. Versus, for example, just for comparison sake ng PCIJ, first district ng Rizal na yung population is times 4, pero kalahati lamang ang nakuhang projects. So, nagiging very politicized daw yung pagpopondo ng DPWH.
Hindi tayo makakasagot dito si Congressman Sandro. At kung lahat yan, sasabi nyo, ay talagang nasa pangalan niya, tingin ko ma-justify niya naman yun. Kung kasi hindi ko pa talaga alam yung ibang mga dokumento na ibinibigay sa kanya. So, or mga allocables na sinabi sa kanya. Hindi pa natin nababasa ng buo yung mga...
But how is
sinabi
it
ng
possible
PCIJ?
that he gets the biggest share of the pie? Number 1 po siya dun sa listahan eh. How is that possible? Hindi po ba nakaayon yan sa, yung nga, laki ng populasyon,
Or the
laki
need
ng,
of the,
the need of the
constituency.
district. Siya po ay first district lamang ng Ilocos Norte.
Hindi
300,000 lang ang tao.
Wala akong dokumento, Gretchen.
So, hindi po
gusto ko mang
manggagaling sa
sagutin.
PCO yung
Wala
pag-demonstrate ng why
Wala.
they deserve that.
Wala sa akin at hindi kasi din ako takapagsalita ni Congressman Sandro. So tingin ko na lang sa aking palagay kung ano yung papel na nandiyan dyan at kung anong project na nandiyan dyan at ma-explain naman ito ng tama. So I think si Congressman Sandro na nasasagot.
Actually,
By any chance, Ma'am,
sige, go ahead.
would you know if the president has seen the story of the PCIJ today? And has
Kailan
he
ba siya
reacted
lumabas?
to-
Actually, hindi ko
Today,
pa nabasa
today.
ng buo. Baka hindi ko alam.
Kahapon, actually, kahapon.
Kagabi ba?
Kahapon.
Ako, personally, hindi ko pa siya nabasa ng buo.
Well, this is related to the DPWH budget. Isa pa na bring up dito ay meron daw pong DPWH BBM parametric formula that is used to determine yung allocation. So, BBM, baseline, balance, and manage. At yung formula daw yon, alam na alam ni Yusek Cabral ng DPWH. Siya daw nakakaalam nun na hindi daw maintindihan ni Secretary Vince Dizon, but yun daw ang kanilang, yun nga yung... Yun nga, but what's worrisome is it's BBM parametric formula. That's the name.
At nakarating ba sa Pangulo niya? Yun yung tanong. Yung BBM na to, na parametric, how we call that?
Parametric formula.
Formula. Una-una, tatanungin ko muna ang Pangulo. Kung particular ba sa sakay dyan? Or meron
Kasi marami
siyang alam
pong
dyan?
programa ang administrasyon na mahilig po sila sa mga ganyan acronym na BBM, di ba? O kaya Bagong Pilipinas. So in the same way, parang ipinangalan din sa kanya itong formula na to. Although parang it somehow puts the accountability on the president na mandato niya ito.
Tingnan natin kasi kailangan natin tumasagot na maayos.
Okay.
At kailangan ko malaman kung ano yung parametric formula na yan at malaman din ng Pangulo para masagot natin ng kumpleto.
Mathematics yun.
But another thing that was raised was hindi daw natanggal pa itong mga allocables sa 2026. In fact, parang may errata daw na pwede siyang ilagay sa ibang proyekto katulad na lang farm to market roads, irigasyon, classrooms, at iba pa. I mean, Meron bang, I mean, in terms of budget reform, how are we making sure that's not happening
nagawa
again?
na kasi yung 2026 budget na yan, yung NEP na yan, hindi pa nagkakaroon ng ganito. Wala pang investigasyon. So, kung lumalabas lahat ito, yan ang gusto ng Pangulo. Lumabas kung ano man ang problema, lumabas lahat kung may problema man sa budget, and then kung makikita nila yan, kailangan tumaayos. Yun
So
naman
I
ang gusto
guess
ng
this is
Pangulo
all
eh.
subject to change.
So, maaaring ma-veto pa.
Yes, yun naman ang magiging gusto ng Pangulo dyan. Ayaw nga niya na yung lalabas na nag-aa, yung hindi ayon sa NEP. So kung may nakikita ng mga problema, then this is the time na i-point out yan. Kasi ayaw ng Pangulo na ng ganitong klaseng korupsyon.
Ma'am, cambio ka ng konti. Kaninang umaga, there were several, I don't know if arrest is the right word for it, kasi they were detained, they were brought in for questioning, but they were eventually released. Tatlong mga umunoy miyembro ng press, social media press, if you might call it that, ng KS21 o Kilusang Setyembre 21.
Have you heard of that, ma'am?
Hindi pa. Oo.
Kasi they were wearing vests with Kevlar helmets or what appear to be Kevlar helmets. And,
Kevlar talaga.
well, what appear to be Kevlar helmets,
Yun po ang
I
sabi
cannot
sa
really
report
tell
sa
because it looked like Kevlar helmets, but in this day and age of airsoft, it's really hard to say.
Oh.
And may parang gas mask daw nadala. And they belong though to a social media page that's named Kilusang Setyembre 21, which I suppose is in reference to what happened on September 21 this year na,
Nakaitim.
na gulo.
Itim.
Oo. They were picked up.
Nakaitim din sila?
Nakaitim din sila at may balaklava. Ayun ang balaklava, yung parang bonnet.
Mukhang ready to fight.
Well,
Ready to attack.
May gas mask pang
May
dala.
gas. Oo.
yun ang implication. Although, syempre, it might also become a press freedom issue as well. I'd like to show it to you sana, pero nawala ko yung page.
Pero
Basically, ma'am,
critical yun eh. With this?
Ang kita lang yung eyes. Ganon. Tapos, ang kiniklaim nila, nakasuot sila ng press. So, they're identifying as press. Ayun. Tapos, tatlo po sila, ayan, for verification.
This from the website.
Okay. Hindi, kasi ang tanong dito, ako, as a lawyer na lang, what for? Anong reason?
Here you go.
Ayan.
Here's the video.
Ayan pala.
Ayan.
So, legitimate ba silang
Well, ma'am, kasi
ang daling gumamit ng press
you also have the problem of what's legitimate press to begin
Yun
with.
nga, ma'am.
Kasi-
Kasi you were talking about that
You can
kanina.
also
Ano
use
ba ang
that
press?
as a facade. Di ba?
But
To camouflage. Hindi natin alam.
now with social media, anybody can broadcast and publish.
Kasi ma'am, they claim they're
anything.
funded by this nga yung Kilusang Setyembre 21 na which is a social media page na press din. So,
Ma'am,
I guess they can identify
let me
as
ask you this
press.
lang. As a lawyer, somebody who's also into trial law, what's your perspective as far as this? Well, your perspective as a lawyer and as a spokesman of the
As a
palace.
lawyer muna ha, as a lawyer.
Your perspective
Okay.
on something like this.
Ang pulis kasi, pwede silang tanong pag suspicious yung action. So, of all the people, kung ganyan yung get up nyo, why? At ang una mo, bakit? Anong meron?
Just in case magkagulo, ready sila.
Gas mask? I mean, Kevlar helmet?
Di ba, Bok, sa mga dating
Sa war zone.
Well, for example, ma'am, maraming mga foreign media stingers and photojournalists who are well prepared for any
That kind of
eventuality.
get up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Although hindi nila plating suot na kagad,
kaya
pero
nga.
nasa backpack nila, gano'n.
I think yung gas mask, ganun po ma'am. Dala lang nila. Pero hindi pa naman.
Pero ba't kailangan mo itago
if
yung mukha
ever.
mo?
Well, that's another thing altogether.
That's why. So, ang pulis po kasi, meron po silang karapatan na magtanong kung meron suspicious movement. So, nasa authority nila yun.
But I wonder if it's constitutional altogether na ipinagbawal yung all sorts of covering. Nakalagay dito sa
Is
Manila
it
Yung Manila
Ordinance.
Ordinance
I cannot.
of November
Helmet, face mask, balaklava, cap, hoodie,
Anything
at tinted
covering your
visor.
face.
Ipinagbawal. It was just released
Signed
November.
by the mayor November 3 of this year.
But I think the mayor should answer for that. Hindi ko masabi. Siguro may reason sila because nagkaroon sila ng experience doon sa
Last time.
team na lahat naka-black, lahat may cover, may nagsunog. I mean, that's the experience that we had. So tingin ko, kailangan nila itong ma-stop, ma-restrain at an earliest opportunity.
But as a lawyer, I mean, you're better versed in the law than the mayor is.
But I cannot
Can you
answer for
imagine?
mayors ko. I cannot answer for mayors ko.
Not to answer for mayors ko, pero
Hinigipit mo ako.
I'm just wondering kasi from the point of view of freedom of expression, parang it's anybody's right to wear what he wants in public, so long as it's not violation of, for example, obscenity laws or.
Ayaw na, kung may experience na before ang Manila because of that, so why wear that? You can wear another thing. You can wear another get up.
Pwede na, pati cap binagbawal tsaka hoodie.
Kasi kung ang purpose mo naman talaga, kung ikaw mag-wear ka ng hoodie, wala ka namang gagawin, I don't think na matatakot ka. You will be questioned, yes, you will be courageous enough to answer. Na, I'm just wearing this. Pero kung meron ka maitim na balak, na kasing kulay ng itim-itim, talagang mahirapan ka sumagot. Diba?
But that strikes at the heart of the question of motivation. Why wear a hoodie or why wear black? That does not strike at the heart of personal choice.
So,
what if I like black? What if Nikki wears black because she's...
What if nilalamig lang ako
Baka
sa mag-hoodie?
payat ang itsura ko pag nakaitim. Nagtatago ko.
Well,
dahil
it's all theoretical, of
nakatapo.
course,
Yes,
and legalese, but
di kung gusto mo mag-hoodie na black, huwag na during the rally. For me lang hindi ko po inuunahan kasi
Mamaya
si
papasok si Mayor Isko dito.
Yeah, meron siyang reason for this. Kaya niya ito ginawa. At I know naman na nag-consult din siya sa kanyang mga lawyers. So, lugar niya yun. At ito ang nakikita niya para maiwasan anong gulo. Di, nasa Manila po yun.
Okay. May kumakalat na video ngayon sa social media ng Vice Presidente. Sabi niya, hindi ko best friend si Claire Castro. Wala akong best friend na ganyan mag-isip.
so nabawasan yung BFF ninyo.
Your thoughts?
Totoo naman. Admitted na hindi kami pwede maging best friends. Kasi hindi rin ganun ako mag-isip. Kasi after taking the bar, after passing the bar, naging trial lawyer na po ako. Kaya hindi kami pwedeng pareho mag-isip. At hindi rin po ako corrupt. Kaya hindi kami pwedeng magpareho.
Why emphasize on the trial lawyer?
Iba po kasi yung mindset ko. Pag trial lawyer, always evidence. Always evidence.
Evidence-based.
And
Siya
why
ho,
emphasize on hindi kayo corrupt?
Hindi kasi ako corrupt.
What are you trying to imply?
Wala akong confidential funds.
Ah.
Ayun. Kaya magkaiba kami. Hindi ko pwedeng maisip yung mga nagawa nila mga resibo kasi wala akong confidential funds. Kaya hindi ko pwedeng pareho mag-isip.
Pero ma'am, remember nung si VP Sara, she said na she's ready to assume the presidency. You took it as definitely a form of political destabilization. Di ba pwedeng sinabi lang niya na ready siya?
You don't have to say that because it's already in the Constitution. Yun naman talaga spare tire ka nga But to say it in the midst of this kind of rallies.
Pero hindi ba sinagot lang din niya yung tanong? Kung sakasakali, kung handa ba siya?
And
Yes, you don't have to. For me, it is not acceptable for a president to anticipate. Magkaiba yun
For a vice president.
To be the vice president to anticipate to take the place of the president in this kind of scenario. Iba kasi yung ready ka for a legitimate reason. Nasa Constitution yun Pero kung yung kaalyado mo mismo, ikaw mismo ay gustong patalsikin ng Pangulo at puro negatibo ang sinasabi mo sa Pangulo. And then you will tell to the people, I'm ready to take his place. Definitely.
So,
it's
dapat
a form
di niya
of
na ho
political
sinabi yun.
destabilization.
Dapat hindi na
so
siya
may
nagsalita.
tinge of doon.
Yes, oo. Not this time.
Okay.
Meron siyang gustong ipahiwatig doon. There's a hidden message.
Ma'am, do you have any message you want to put across to people watching now and who are also watching the events developing sa EDSA?
Okay, maraming salamat dahil ang mga kababayan po natin ay tahimik po sa kanilang nangyaring yung rally ngayon. At rest assured po na ang Pangulo po ay nakikinig sa inyong mga sinasabi at mga hinaing at ito naman po ay tutugunan ng ating Pangulo. At basta lang po ang inyong pagrarally ay within the bounds of the law hindi po kayo pitigilan ng Pangulo dahil kailangan po din natin madinig ang inyong mga hinaing.
Wait, sorry, ihahabol ko lang kasi
Mm-mm.
isa pa sa mga panawagan ay yung anti-political dynasty bill.
Mm-mm.
Posible ba yan na itulak din ng Pangulo, certify as urgent, or any
Mm-mm.
push from the President would help?
Especially since Boji D, the speaker, also put it out na I want this.
Dali nila. Nasaan na ba yung bill? Bigyan nila. Tingnan natin. Aaralin man ng Pangulo yan. Aaralin ng Pangulo.
Okay, maraming salamat sa inyong oras para sa Press Officer Undersecretary Claire Castro.